Hello everyone, welcome back to Pwn TV. In this video, I'm actually going to be showing a Dragon Ball Super deck that I've been working on. This is actually version 6 of my Shenron Set 6 deck. So I've actually had 5 previous versions that I've made minor tweaks to. Basically, we are playing our regular Dragon Ball Shenron leader, and he is the OG leader. So most of the players of this game are very familiar with this card. He allows my win condition to strike 3 different times in one turn, and that is pretty much going to win the game for me. Okay, so I have a 50 card list here, and it's pretty familiar if you've been watching the Set 6 spoilers. A lot of people coming out with designs of different decks, various different decks, and some of which are using the Agents of Destruction in various different ways. Well, I took a few concepts that I found when Set 6 was released, and I added to it, and I continued adding to it, and I took some concepts from right here on Octagon, from local Octagon players that don't exist really anywhere else other than on Octagon, and I've taken some of their concepts and I've added it to this deck. And so this is what we have. We have the Spice. So basically the idea is to win with this 8-drop Boo. Basically what this guy is going to do is he's going to basically say, I'm going to take all of my Agents of Destruction, up to 5 different Agents of Destruction, and play them from my drop area. So the deck runs a lot of different Agents of Destruction. I've play tested all of the Agents of Destruction, and yes, I do like the Vegeta, but in this particular list, I've cut the Vegeta out, and we are limiting, instead of 10 Agents of Destruction, we are down to 8 Agents of Destruction, and I kind of like this list because it's got a lot more backup win conditions in the event that you don't necessarily get the early Arcane Absorption Majin Buu that you want. If this guy gets stuck in your life, or in your drop area, or in your hand, it's really hard to cheat him out with the rest of the combo, which is very simple combo. Basically, it's the 4 copies of Surprise Attack Majin Buu. It goes to find a 25,000 power or less Majin Buu and add it to your hand. Well, you go get Gangster Buu. I call him Gangster Buu. All my friends call him Gangster Buu. Awakening Evil Majin Buu. You basically grab this off of the 3-drop Buu, and then you evolve for 2 red. It has to be double red. And then once you do this, you have this 25,000 Buu in play. Now it's a 5-drop. And then you have this Union Absorb ability. Okay, that's great. How do we use it? Well, you place a battle card under this card, and then you choose a bigger Majin Buu and put it on top of this card. So you sandwich Awakening Evil Majin Buu in between a weaker card and a stronger card. Well, the way that this works is you can pick any battle card you want. So you pick a Babidi, which we run a lot of different copies of Babidi in this deck. Originally I was running playsets of each, but now I'm only running 6. 2 Agents of Resurrection and 4 Overseers of Destruction. This is a Babidi. This is an evil wizard Babidi, and because he specifically says he's an evil wizard Babidi, he allows you to resolve the auto on this card, where it literally says when you play this card, if there is an evil wizard Babidi card under this card, choose up to 5 Agent of Destruction cards from your drop area or warp and play them. So yes, you can actually use the ultimate on Shenron, warping away all of your agents, and you could still grab them back, or you can not use the ultimate on Shenron and keep it, and then basically get this Arcane Absorption into play. It is a triple striker, then you give it triple attack. Now it has 9 damage that it's capable of doing with 1 card, plus it summons up to 5 other 20,000 power bodies to just threaten the board with. That's nuts. This is usually just a KO, basically. The combo where you can get all of the extra Agents of Destruction into play and still have the ability to use this ultimate is pretty disgusting, if you ask me. It's kind of hard to pull off without Senzu Bean, so in the competitive scene I actually run some Senzu Beans in the list to actually get me there. And basically, yeah, so the combo is quite simple. I get this 3-drop Buu and I play it, and then after I play it, I look through my deck and I get this Buu and I put it in my hand, and then I say, okay, tap 2 red, make my Buu into a 25k guy. Okay, now I'm actually going to take one of these Babidis and put it underneath this card, quite simple. And then after I do that, I can search my deck, because that's what this Union Absorb says. Okay, place a battle card under this card, go find a big Majin Buu and place it on top of this card. Okay, alright, I'll do that then. And then once that happens, you have this guy out there and he triggers his auto and it's just all hell breaks loose. Or this gets stuck in your hand, right? And you have to take 6 energy and tap it in order to activate it. So basically the way this card is supposed to work in set 6, like let's say you did a sealed tournament and it's only set 6 stuff, you don't have all those other boos, right? So you don't have a way to cheat them out with double red. You can't do that necessarily in a sealed draft or something like that. So basically the way this card is designed, he works without all of those other cards, he works just fine. This is specifically how he works. Basically, you have 6 energy available, okay? Once you have 6 energy available, you activate main while Arcane Absorption Majin Buu is in your hand, right? That sounds weird at first, but there are other cards like Leap to the Future Son Goten, Leap to the Future Trunks. These are 2 examples of cards that judges have ruled have an activate main written on the card where you can actually use them from hand. As a matter of fact, I don't think you're able to use those activate mains from the battlefield. It's weird, but the way that it's worded, you could think of it in 2 different ways. Well, this card specifically works from hand. You don't play it. It doesn't work like that. Basically what you do is you activate main, you tap the 6, you choose a Bobbity card in your drop area or your warp. Once you've chosen that Bobbity card, you have to choose it. Once you've chosen it, then you play that chosen Bobbity card, then you play this chosen Majin Buu on top of that Bobbity card. And then, of course, you're playing the Buu with a Bobbity under it, so you get the auto. Bibbity Bobbity Boo. Done. And you get the Agents of Destruction. I know that was hella corny. But that's basically how it is designed to work. That is how it's designed to work. And it's very easy to get the combo out with all the other boos. You could just tap double red on turn 2 or 3 and you have this big guy. You maybe spent turns 1 and 2 comboing away all of these 5k guys, and then you have them in your drop, right? Well, now your Majin Buu is just going to play these. So you could just play them, and now they're just in play. And they have a bunch of in-play effects. Well, of course, there's a lot more Agents of Destruction in this game than what you see in front of you, right? Well, the reason why I'm using these, I was originally making a red-blue list, and I thought Vegeta would be great, but honestly, I don't think I'm struggling to charge red, so, and I wouldn't want to charge an Agent of Destruction anyway, really, because why would I do that in this deck? I'm trying to kill them with that card, not charge it, right? So basically, I cut the Vegetas out and cut the red down a lot, and it's not the easiest to get double red, but it is doable, right? With all of the cantrips you have, like Agent of Resurrection, you can go get a red Majin Buu, and then there's your red charge. For example, that's just one of many examples. But yeah, so I cut those, and I kept the blue Janembas in, but I also went to 4 copies of Lord Slug. Originally, I was running like 3 of all of the different agents, 2 to 3 copies of every agent, until I really decided what I liked. I really like 4 Lord Slugs. I really like 4 Janembas. This is amazing. These Janembas are nuts. They have critical, so if you give them triple attack, it's just bonkers because they lose 3 life cards basically when you do that, or their entire hand, and then after that, you mill them 3 with the activate main on this card, which is also broken. Side note, you don't get the auto if you use the Arcane Absorption Buu to play the Janemba, but if you cast the Janemba, because maybe he costs 1 less because you play Bobbity Overseer in the deck, if you cast him from hand, well, yeah, you're good. You get the auto effect. You can untap an energy at end of turn. But if you just play him from the drop, you don't get that auto effect. So that's just a side note. But anyway, the way this card works is you swing your crit, and then after you swing your crit, you activate the main on this card, and you say, okay, I'm gonna bring this to the warp, and I'm gonna draw a new card off the top of my deck. And then after I do that, you're gonna take 3 cards from the top of your deck, and you're gonna discard them. They're just gonna get dropped. Well, imagine what happens, right, when you use this effect and you play all 4 of these Janembas. You have 4 crit swings coming in, and then you have 4 activate mains also coming in, right? That is 12 cards that they are pitching. That is basically their whole library by the time this combo is finished. This basically kills them. So yes, 4 Janembas is quite important. But there's also other lines of play. If you're dealing with a deck that isn't really worried about decking out at the moment, you can basically just say, oh, they have cards in hand?
I'm going to grab the Lord Slugs instead of the Janembas. Maybe I'm on that line of play. Maybe I'll charge the Janemba for a Senzu Bean blue source, and then maybe I'll just actually worry about reanimating Lord Slug. So basically what this does is, like, let's say they're playing a deck like Broly, and he has 6 cards in hand, and every time he attacks, he gets up to 6 cards put into his hand from his deck. Yeah, you might be able to deck him, but why not just neg his hand and not allow him to have any plays at all? So basically I would say, okay, do this effect, yada yada yada, and then play 4 Lord Slugs. You get to drop 4 cards from your hand, just like that. And I did that basically for free. Now I'm going to start swinging 20k. Now you're tempted to just take the damage because you just dropped a bunch of cards from hand. So I'm getting free damage in by doing this. And you're hoping for a card off of your life. That is going to make you lose the game, basically. Unless you get really lucky off of your life, this effect is going to just make you make mistakes and grab from your life when you shouldn't, and then as a result you're going to just not have a good hand and just lose, basically. And then we have the triple strike fallback plan right here. This is the contingency plan, right? So that's basically the core of the deck, right? So we have some cards that support this core idea for the Agents of Destruction, right? Some really cool, clever card choices that I've made. So let me see here. Okay, I've got the other boos underneath this guy. So let me just move everything out of the way for now. So they're basically playsets of all of the red boos, 3 Senzu Beans, playsets of the Agents of Destruction, Lord Slug and Janemba, playset of the Overseer, only half a playset of Agent of Resurrection Bobbity, my one-of ultimate Arcane Absorption, and then the rest of the deck is just this, right? So we've got some support. So we have our Dragon Balls, all 6 of the Dragon Balls that we need, plus a 1 Fringe Dragon Ball, because why not? An extra turn 1 option for you. You can do so much with 1 1-star ball in this deck. You're able to actually just discard the 3-drop Boo that you need to have in the drop area in order to actually reanimate him for free with the Child's Wish. If you're going to go on that play, then you need to be able to discard him. So if you're not swinging, then you could just use the 1-star to discard him and get it over with. Once he's in the drop area, you're good to go. You can just continue playing your deck. But if you don't have this guy in the drop area, you have to stop what you're doing and get him in the drop area ASAP, because otherwise you're not getting your Arcane Absorption out. It's just not going to happen, at least not until turn 6. If you want to get it out on turn 2 or 3, you have to discard this guy real early. So I like having the 1-of-1-star to forcibly discard this and not have to worry about combos. And in addition to that, if I am not worried about combos, if I know I can combo away my Boo whenever, or I already have, then I can use the 1-star ball, right? I can use that to actually get rid of my Desire card. And what that's going to allow me to do is when I actually awaken my leader, it gives me the effect. It literally says that I can return a Desire from my drop to my hand, right? So basically I'm plussing my hand. If I actually took my Child's Wish from hand and I say, okay, 1-star ball, draw this, and then discard a card. Okay, discard Child's Wish. Then flip my Shenron, I get the Child's Wish back anyway. So I'm dropping things that I'm going to get back. I'm going to get the Boo back. I'm going to get the Child's Wish back. So having the 1-star to forcibly neg the opponent's hand and then actually cherry pick my hand and get the card back that I'm dropping anyway, I think it's really clever. It's a great idea. It's also one other way to get rid of the Arcane Absorption from your hand if you have that problem, and it was a problem until the 6th version, the 6th iteration of this deck, which is the one you see in front of you. This deck does not have a problem with the Arcane Absorption being in the hand zone. That's not a problem. If it's anywhere else other than in the deck, that's okay. It does not matter. Now, with that said, my version 5 did not have a problem playing the deck when it got to turn 6, but if the game was over before turn 6 and Arcane Absorption was anywhere other than my deck, I just couldn't play him. But now I have the ability to play him. So let's look at the rest of the support the deck has, and you'll see kind of how that works. Alright. So, a couple other Boo targets. Now, you do have Agent of Resurrection Bobbity in the deck. He does say go get a Majin Buu, so you can choose this Boo with that Bobbity, and you have that option. So, it's just more Boo filler in the deck to forcibly make sure you grab a card. Even if it's a 0 plus 5,000 combo card, you're still forcibly getting a Boo every time you use the Bobbity. That's important. You need to have the synergy, so you have to have a good amount of Boos in the deck. So, I do have him in here. People are like, you should play Borgos. I just argue that if Agent of Resurrection's in the deck, I need more boo targets. That's just as simple as that. Alright, so I have the boos in there. Other things that the boos are good for, other than blue energy and cantrips, which are basically just playing cards to draw more cards, that's what a cantrip is. Well, the other thing that he has going for him is this boo right here basically says I can pick a Majin Buu from my deck, 25,000 power or less. What happens when we get to the point in the game where all of my other targets are gone? What if all of my targets are gone? Well, I have these two boos to fall back on. So I don't just punt when I actually use this effect and I don't calculate correctly. Maybe I'm not 100% sure where the boos are. Maybe I'm just not thinking long enough because I probably already did look at all of my zones with my leader ability. I can look at my life cards. I should have known and made note of where all of the Majin Boos are, but if I chose not to do that for whatever reason, maybe I don't want to cheat, but it's technically not cheating. Whatever the reason is, I can still recover from that play mistake by grabbing the 1-drop Boo that I added to the deck. So another reason why I have the 1-drop Boo in the deck. So I like it as a 2-of in the deck. It's just fine as far as I'm concerned. Now, other cards that just rock this deck, obviously your super combos, amazing. I would not change this. This is the best super combo for Shenron that I've seen. So yeah, Temporal Mastery Trunks. Temporal Rescue Trunks, sorry. I don't know what's going on with this screen, but sometimes when I highlight over the card, it doesn't actually show up, so that's weird. But yeah, so those are really good super combos. In addition, we have our mandatory 0 to 4 copies of a negate. Basically, if you want to play Dragon Ball, you either put 0, 1, 2, 3, or 4 negates in your deck, and you call it a day. Anything more than that, you're really just playing a troll deck. Honestly, let's be honest, I've played a deck with 18 negates in it, and I won a lot, but that was a troll deck. But most decks only have a handful of negates in them. This deck happens to only have room for 2 power bursts, and I personally think 2 power bursts is all you need, so I have the 2 power bursts. Now, side note about the power burst, they go and grab a 1-drop black battle card from the drop area. Well, I happen to have added one to the deck. So this is the new addition to the set 6. This is Dangerous Journey Bulma. This is an Octagon player's suggestion to a Shenron deck that I got back in set 5, okay? Before set 6 was even released. People were saying, I'm going to play this in a mono red Babidi deck. I'm going to play 6-drop Babidi, I'm going to play mono red, I'm going to drop a bunch of MC Gohans on your face and a bunch of Ghost Attack Gotenks on your face. I'm going to go ahead and scoop up all of my cards that I dropped and put them back in my deck with Dangerous Journey Bulma, and when my Babidi resolves, they're just going to be on the top 7. They just are, so I'm just going to have a nuts Babidi play. This is just going to be a nuts Babidi play. Maybe a chain attack into a Babidi, into a chain attack, into a Babidi, into a chain attack, into a Babidi, etc. It might be something crazy like that, right? Because you could totally do this. Okay. Been done before, old news, but this card was just an addition I added. Once I saw a player on Octagon use it, I really liked the idea. I copied his Babidi deck. I loved playing it. I really liked that deck list, and I decided, you know what, I'm going to spice this deck up a bit. I read this card very carefully to make sure that I could target specifically black battle cards with this card, and I can. It literally says when you play this card, if your leader card is a Shenron card, which it is, choose up to 3 battle cards with an energy cost of 3 or more in your drop area and shuffle them into your deck. I'm literally dabbing right now, because what this allows you to do, not only does it replace itself with a draw, but it says, oh, that sucks. Your Arcane Absorption was in your life. Oh, that sucks. You decided to draw a bunch of cards with Dragon Balls and you drew into an Arcane Absorption. Oh, that sucks. You crit dropped your Arcane Absorption. Oh, that sucks. Any number of things happened to your deck where you didn't get your Arcane Absorption in the perfect zone on the perfect turn. Well, that's not a problem. I'm just going to say, hey, put this guy back in the deck. I don't give a shit. Shuffle him back in the deck right the fuck now. Doesn't matter. He is a black battle card, but this does not say non-black. It literally says up to 3 battle cards with energy cost 3 or more. So it literally says, hey, Arcane Absorption's a target. Boom, got him. Okay, so basically, this is going to allow me to just keep going on turns 3, 4, and 5, and then if we get to turn 6, I just activate main on it anyway. So yeah, so this card is an amazing card. There's really nothing they can do about it, because unless I'm stupid and I charge this, or it's like the last life card in my life, life, then I'm going to have no problem playing the deck, because what's going to happen is I'm going to play this whenever, right? And if I don't have the Arcane Absorption in the drop, no big deal. Maybe I put Temporals back in the drop. I don't know. Maybe I do whatever. But like if they kill this, right? If I combo it away, or they kill it, however, whatever, and it goes to the drop zone, well, that's not a problem because it's a 1-drop black card, and I play Power Burst. So I can just get it back to my hand whenever I fucking want. Whenever I want, I can just put it in my hand, and that's why it's so strong. So I only need 1 copy, and it's only just my oh shit button to get my boo back in the right zone so I can continue going into my combo and actually getting the nuts play and actually shitting on the board with a bunch of Agents of Destruction. That's the plan. That's what I want to do with my life. That's my set 6 goal, and my sec 6 goal apparently. Okay, so basically I have 5 cards left in this deck, and they are all new additions to the deck, essentially all new additions. I think I added Dragon Radar in versions 4 or 5, but I did go up by 1 on the Dragon Radars. I really like this card. I did go up to 2 World Peace, and I added a Vegeta to this deck. So what this is going to allow me to do is just filler, really, just kind of extra tech. So the 2 Dragon Radars, what they're going to allow me to do is just basically either get my Child's Wish off the top 7, because I haven't seen it yet, or my World Peace off the top 7, because I haven't seen it yet. Or more likely, what they're going to do is I actually, honestly, put them in to get Child's Wish off the top 7. But in most cases, after playtesting, I've learned that I just draw into the Child's Wish with the Dragon Balls. So I just use the Dragon Radar to draw the Dragon Balls, to replay the Dragon Balls, to just draw more cards. And then I just see the Child's Wish almost every time. So I like that effect better, but I have both options, and it's really good that it's a 1 black energy cost in order to actually do this. So any color to tap to get this effect, and I just have it for 1, and that's great because my curve is 1. My curve is literally 1. Like, I always have 1 energy available. I untap 1 with Janemba. On turn 1, I have all these 1-drop plays that I have available. On turn 2, I've probably already burned my 1-star ball, and I have a 1-drop play in my hand, but I have 2 energy, so I need another 1-drop play. So Dragon Radar works really good in this deck. It just works really good in this deck. I can use it with Senzu Bean to just untap the energy I paid. So if I have 2 energy, 1 blue, 1 red, I can say, okay, 1 red, Dragon Radar, okay, do some stuff, okay, swing maybe my energy boosted Majin Buu, okay, give it a Senzu Bean, now I can untap, and now I have 2 open again, so now I can actually play some of my 2-drops, maybe a Child's Wish or something like that. So there's a lot of synergy, lots of reasons to just squeeze in the Dragon Radar, and it works really good in the deck, right? And the World Peace is really, I had it in there as a one-of, just as a finisher. If I got to like turn 4 or 5 or higher, I can pretty much just play all the shit that I need from the drop area with World Peace. So I can just use the Shenron second ability to just play the free World Peace and just have 4 energy open and then do this anyway. But for the most part, I really just see this card losing me more games than winning me games. It's a great card because it does give me that power spike when I draw into it. But I really never saw it when I was rocking 1 World Peace, and then when I decided to actually add the Vegeta to the deck, that was the tipping point for me. That was when I decided, you know what, 2 World Peace is mandatory here. I don't really need the Vegeta in the deck. Honestly, when I was brewing my version 6 of this list, I didn't know what the 50th card was, and I was staring at my Vegeta the whole time, and I was like, I know this isn't the 50th card that I agreed on. I know that one of the cards in this deck I added an extra copy of, and it was Lord Slug, but there was another one. I added a 4th Lord Slug, and I did something else, but I didn't take notes on what I did, so I decided, you know what, I'm at 49 cards. I don't really want to change any of these numbers on second thought, so I'm going to just squeeze in another really good win condition and call it a day. I've won a lot of games with Vegeta and Mira. That combo is nuts, so why not do the same thing with Vegeta and Boo? Or Vegeta and anything in my battle area that has triple attack from my Shenron ultimate ability. So there's just a lot of just really good tech with this deck. I really like it. So triple strike on this card as well. When you activate it, I usually do have the 2 life to drop to actually put to my hand. I can just take the 2 life and add it to my hand. And to do this almost every game, I've never had a problem getting this effect off. This deck works really good with at all cost Vegeta. It really does. So I added 1 at all cost Vegeta. Now my biggest regret is I'm really short on red in the deck, but as I said at the beginning, there are ways to get red cards in from your deck into your hand, and it shouldn't be a problem. There's just a lot of ways to dig into your deck with this deck, so you should be able to have no problem getting your red. And you really don't need the double red to win the game. Like, I've noticed that. Originally, I designed this deck to just say mono red, basically. Okay, now I need to splash Senzubin, so red, mono red with a blue splash, and then it just started evolving from there, and now it was like basically a blue deck with a little bit of a red package. So it's kind of on its head, but you could still get double red charge. It's typical that you'll charge 2 of these guys and then just keep the other one for your combo, and then you have your double red like that. And these, it's a boo, so it gets tutored with all these other boos. So that's typically how I play it. And I don't have to worry about charging anything else. I could just charge blue from that point forward once I have the double red. That's basically how I play the deck. Anyway, this deck profile is getting to be quite long, and you can kind of see what I've got going on here. I really like how this deck plays. I really like all the card interactions with the desires and the ways to get those cards back, the ways to draw more cards, the ways to put cards where they need to be, and other finishers added to the deck, negates to stop their finisher, and just a really nice clean combo that you have here. It's just really clever. And then being able to untap with Senzubin, but wait, we've got more tricks. I'm gonna triple crit you and then also make you mill 12 cards, and then you're gonna drop 4 cards from your hand. Like, there's just, it's nuts. It's fucking nuts. It's so nuts. I really like this deck. I'll be playing this until set 7 probably. Some variant of this is what I'll be playing until set 7. This is my version 6 of the Shenron Arcane Absorption Boo deck. And so thank you for watching my deck profile. Hopefully you didn't think it was utter trash. I really like the card interactions. Like I said, give it a try. I know this is an expensive card, so maybe proxy it. Whatever. I wouldn't care. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace out.